there's a history that is unspoken
Okay.
that some don't know about, some do. There has been historians, archaeologists. There are actually European Jews that have written about it. When you look at the relationship, we're brothers. A large portion of us, not all of us, but when you look throughout West Africa, as a people, we're related in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but you have those who, I mean, I've lived, when I hear from there, and sometimes there is a little bit of, like you said, most of it is unspoken, but there's this elephant in the room about, oh, you guys sold us to the white folks.
Right.
I mean, how is it prevalent in Philly? Do you have friends talk about that stuff?
Yeah, it's especially in today's day and time. There's a lot of talk about it. In the communities that I'm in, particularly in the Hebrew community, we talk about it. It's a very humbling story. You know, I think at first there's a lot of anger, but then when you realize this was done by design, this was intentional, it's not by mistake.
Designed by who?
You have to take a step back and know that, you know what? There's more to the story than we know.
That part, I mean, inclined to agree with you. You know, they say history is written by the victor.
Exactly. And I think that we have been told the story by the victor over and over again, and we believed it, right? And so we're like, oh, okay, that's our history. African Americans, you know, we were slaves, and you have Harriet Tubman, which was awesome, and she did great work. You got Benjamin Banneker. You have all of these icons that have done these great things. This is black history. Well, who are we before we reach the shores in America? Virginia and Georgia and James, right? Who were we? You cannot tell me we were just slaves. It's actually pretty demeaning.
What people use enslaved people. In other words, you were who you were, an African, everything, and for whatever reason, however it happened, it was enslaved. But what my curiosity is where you say it happened by design.
Right.
Why design, but not an accident? Not some greedy folks who sold their kin folks to other people.
Right.
Why is it by design?
I'm gonna ask a question, and I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay.
If you could just pick a straw out of a hat when you think of a people, who are the most hated people on the planet?
Black.
There you go. Right? All right. So what if I told you that was prophecy?
How so?
It said that we would literally become a byword to all nations. A byword is something other than who you are. Right? So, you know, the N-word and all of these, even Africans. I mean, it's right. But there would be a people that would be called a byword because we did not do as a people what we're supposed to do. In Psalm 83, talk about intentional. Psalm 83, it talks about how they have lifted up the head, the enemy, and that they are confederate against God, right? We call him Yahuwah, or some say Yahweh, right? They're confederate against you, and they are gone against the children of Israel to make sure as a people, as a nation, that they will no longer be in remembrance, right? That was intentional. Why did that happen? Well, when you read throughout Jeremiah and other books in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy, you know, a lot of people like to use Deuteronomy 28. There's other, you can, it's all throughout. Okay. Genesis, you know, it talked about a people that will be enslaved for over 400 years, right? And they would serve gods of wood and stone in the land that their fathers did not know.
Yeah.
So when you read as a people, we did not obey his commandments, his laws, his ways, basically.
So we brought it on to ourselves?
Oh, absolutely. All of it. We brought it on ourselves as a result of our disobedience.
Okay.
And so that's what I
So
mean.
are you telling me
Yeah.
that other people obeyed, but we are the ones who disobeyed? That in itself, isn't that a story that somebody else is telling us?
No.
Okay.
The story that they tell us is that the people in Israel today are the people,
Okay.
right? That Israel was established in 1948,
Okay.
right? There's quotes from, I forget the king of Egypt. He said, you know, Israel, there would never be peace in the so-called Middle East, which is Northeast Africa, until what? Until, because Israel left black and came back white.
Okay.
European Jews are unequivocally, by DNA, and Henry Kessler wrote a book, who does not even call himself a Jew anymore. These are European Jews. That they are not Jews. Their DNA does not match anything. There's no such thing as anti-Semitic. We are Shem. They tell us that we're Ham, right? We are the Shemitic people. We are the Afro-Asiatic people.
Okay. Now you're getting my attention, because let me tell you what.
Yeah.
Recently, some white kid picked up a gun, went to Buffalo.
Yeah.
He checked on the internet, find out the highest concentration of blacks.
Yep.
Drove 4 hours there and shot up 10 people at a supermarket.
Yep.
He says he got his inspiration from Tucker Carlson's replacement theory. Have you heard the replacement theory? Now, the replacement theory suggests that the whites are going to be replaced by a people. So now they're shooting up black. But here's where it gets interesting. United States population by ethnicity, whites about 57%. They've dropped below 60%. The next largest group is Hispanics at 18%.
Right.
And blacks are 13%.
Okay.
And then of Asians and all that. So if you're white and you're worried about some group of people replacing you, why skip the Hispanics who are next in line, who are 18%, and shoot up blacks who are 13%? I'm bringing this to say that when you say the Semitic and Jews and black, the commonality that we have, the DNA and all that, could that explain why there seems to be this focus on black people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is written. Until we as a people understand who we are and whose we are, right? When you read throughout Hosea or Amos, it talks about how Israel is the apple of my eye, Yah's eye.
Okay.
You touch Israel, you touch me.
Okay.
But again, as a people, we have to repent. We have to, what they call Hebrew is teshuvah. We have to turn back.
Okay.
When you go to later in Deuteronomy, it talks about, hey, how do we resolve this situation?
Okay.
If we just do what he says, we reject the idols that we have learned from other nations, right?
Okay.
And we turn back to his laws, statutes, and commandments, that actually will heal our nation.
Okay.
He said our people, but they're lost for lack of knowledge.
Okay.
You know?